All right, I got something special for you guys today. This is an op-ed written by General Michael Flynn in the Western Journal. Now, for anybody who's been following my channel at all, you guys know that I'm pretty big into the Obamagate scandal, and I'm a big fan of General Flynn. And so I'm probably not going to provide too much commentary on this because really I just want you guys to hear this message from General Flynn. I'll throw a few things in here and there. But I'm sure anybody out there, all you patriots and all you digital soldiers out there, this is for you guys. You're going to love this one. It's just a great message from General Flynn. So let's go ahead and get into this. All right. Exclusive from General Flynn. If we don't act, 2% of the people are about to control the other 90%. Or 98%, sorry. It's from Michael Flynn. I was once told if we are not careful, 2% of the passionate will control 98% of the indifferent 100% of the time. The more I've thought about this phrase, the more I believe it. There is now a small group of passionate people working hard to destroy our American way of life. Treason and treachery are rampant in our rule of law, and those law enforcement professionals who uphold our laws are under the gun more than at any time in our nation's history. These passionate 2% appear to be winning. They do appear to be, but I think we have a lot of things bubbling under the surface on the Patriot side here, and I think we're going to see some revelations that are going to suck a lot of that gusto out of that passionate 2% that we see running around causing all this chaos. Despite there being countless good people trying to come to grips with everything else on their plates, our silent majority, the indifferent, can no longer be silent. You're damn right, we can no longer be silent. That's why I started this channel. That's why I'm pretty much risking everything. I work in two very left-wing fields. I don't really want to get into specifics because I don't want to be doxxed or anything like that. But I'm basically making these videos with the assumption that before long, my employer is going to find out about this second job of mine and I'm going to get the axe. So with that said, let me go ahead and do my shameless plugs real quick. And please remember to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and now Parler. Parler is now my big avenue. So Facebook and Parler are my two biggest. So please look me up at Thorburn on both Parler and Facebook. I've been posting on there every day. Also, if you would like to contribute to the channel, I've got links to my Patreon, Subscribestar, and PayPal down below. Like I said, doing these videos, I pretty much my fate is sealed, where one day they're going to find out that I do these videos and I'm going to get the axe. And there's nothing more that I would like to do than to be able to fight for you guys full-time, all the time. But I can't do that without your support. So that's an earnest and sincere message. That day is going to come, and I'm either going to be able to support myself with the help of you guys, or I'm going to I'll be at a crossroads. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but the way I see it, millions upon millions of people have died fighting for this country. The least I can do is risk my income. This country is worth it. It's worth everything. So, that said, let's get back into this. If the United States wants to survive the onslaught of socialism, if we are to continue to enjoy self-government and the liberty of our hard-fought freedoms, we have to understand that there are two opposing forces. One is the children of light, and the other is the children of darkness. And that is such a poetic way to put it, and it really does reflect the truth of the situation. Socialism, Marxism, communism, they are all rooted in evil ideologies that cut across every ingrained piece of humanity, everything that we are. And we are made in the image of God. So anything that cuts against humanity is cutting against the image of God. You have to understand that. So let's keep going here. As I recently wrote, the art and exercise of self-governance requires the active participation by every member. I wasn't kidding. He's not. We all need to be out here speaking our voice, not being afraid. And voting is only part of the active participation. Time and again, the silent majority have been overwhelmed by the audacity and resolve of small, well-organized, passionate groups. It's now time for us, the silent majority, to demonstrate both. Damn right. God, I love Michael Flynn. All right. The trials of our current times, like warfare, are immense and consequences severe, and these seem inconquerable. I don't think they do. I think to a lot of people they do because they're stuck in the mainstream media trap. They're constantly told Trump is bad, orange man bad. And they think that they get on social media and they see all these millennials and, all the people on Twitter. They're basically these little left-wing echo chambers just repeating it, and they feel like the world is stacked against them. It operates in something like a psychological pincer movement. Where it comes from the top, it comes from the bottom, and you feel trapped in the middle with the ceiling and the floor closing in. But it's an illusion. We have to understand it's an illusion. But it will not remain an illusion if we do not recognize that and stand up, speak our minds, and be willing to sacrifice in order to do so. We have to be willing to sacrifice. Because many before us have. So in their name, we sacrifice together. All right. As a policewoman from Virginia told me, people don't feel safe in their homes, and our police force is so demoralized we cannot function as we should. In my 23 years with the department, I have never seen morale so low. Another woman from Mississippi told me that we need our leaders to drop a forceful hammer. People are losing patience. It simply must be stopped. Laws must be enforced. No one is above the law. Well, right now we're finding out who thinks they're above the law and who doesn't. Of course, we're finding out that most of the people who think they're above the law are Democrats. No surprise there. Don't fret. Through smart, positive actions of resolute citizen patriots, we can prevail. Yes, and we will. Always keep in mind that our enemy, these dark forces, invariably have difficulties of which we are ignorant. For most Americans, these forces appear to be strong. I sense that they are desperate. Yes, I think they are desperate. I think Trump, as everybody liked to parrot about Trump, everybody in the media like to say the walls are closing in, the walls are closing in. Well, I do think that the walls are closing in around the deep state and the evil actors who have usurped control from this country for decades now, under the guise of under the guise of elected officials. They operate from beneath, subverting our elected government officials. And controlling the ones, certain ones. So, yes, I do think they appear desperate because I think Trump is an existential threat to them. And that is why we have to vote Trump back in 2020. All right. I also sense that only a slight push on our part is all that is required to defeat these forces. How should that push come? Yeah, I think it will take a small push. I don't know. Actually, I think it's going to take a pretty big push, but I think we have most of the dominoes set up. I think that might be what he's saying, is that we have the dominoes set up, and now all of it's going to take a slight push for it to fall. But the fall will not be slight. The fall will be massive. So I'm really excited to see how that goes. And there's some things that I want to say now, but I'm going to save it for my next video. So let's just keep going here with Michael Flynn's op-ed. Prayers help and prayers matter. But action is also a remedy. Our law enforcement professionals, from the dispatcher to the detective, from the cop to the commissioner, are a line of defense against the corrupt and the criminal, although some of them are involved in that corrupt and criminal element. It is how we remain, for now, in a state of relatively peaceful existence. We must support them with all our being. They are not the enemy. For the most part, no, they're not. But we do need to weed out the corrupt ones, especially on the political side of policing. I think we're actually starting to see some pushback on that now. You saw the LA Sheriff's Department? They're refusing the beach closures for July 4th. Good on them. Good on them. They are not the enemy. They bring light to the darkness of night through their bravery and determination to do their jobs without fanfare and with tremendous sacrifice. There's that sacrifice we're talking about. We all must sacrifice to hold on to our freedoms, or everything that you think you're holding on to in fear of sacrifice will be taken away from you no matter what. The silent majority, the indifferent, tend to go the way of those leading them. We are not map or mind readers. We are humans fraught with all the hopes and fears that flesh is heir to. We must not become lost in this battle. We must resoundingly follow our God-given common sense. Seek the truth. Fight for it in everything that is displayed before you. Don't trust the fake news or the false prophets. Trust your instincts and your common sense. Those with a conscience will know the difference between right and wrong, and those with courage will always choose the harder right over the easier wrong. I love that line. Yes, doing the right thing is often difficult and often comes with risk of sacrifice. But you should know that anything you lose for doing right will be repaid to you tenfold when all is said and done. Whatever you lose, you will gain back because you did the right thing. And doing the right thing always gets rewarded. If not in the short term, in the long term. It can be painful in the short term. But don't be afraid because you have the righteousness on your side. I believe the attacks being presented to us today are part of a well-orchestrated and well-funded effort that uses racism as its sword to aggravate our battlefield dispositions. This weapon is used to leverage and legitimize violence and crime, not to seek or serve truth. Absolutely, it does not seek or serve truth. You can watch my Black Lives Matter videos and you can see how they use subversion to push forward a culturally Marxist agenda that really has nothing to do with race, but is all about aggregating power and centralizing it under a select few. The dark forces' weapons formed against us serve one purpose: to promote radical social change through power and control. Socialism and the creation of a socialist society are their ultimate goals. Yes, you guys have heard me saying this. I mean, Michael Flynn is speaking my soul right now. They are also intent on driving God out of our families, our schools, and our courts. They are even seeking the very removal of God from our churches, essentially hoping to remove God from our everyday lives. You know, I grew up a Methodist, and there's a Methodist church, a really big Methodist church in Hollywood, right around the corner from me, and I wanted to check it out, but they hang rainbow flags, and it's not that live your life however you want. But the church is just not a place for that because it goes against the scripture, and it is not our place. It is not our place to tell God that what he calls sinful is not sinful. That's my take on it. I mean, live and let live. Let people live the life they want to live. Don't harass them for it, but you can't let an age-old tradition and a belief structure give way to the pressures of social justice. And you see these churches are doing that, and it's the crumbling of the integrity of the message. So, anyways, let's continue. Remember, we will only remain united as one nation under God. And yes, there is a resistance movement by forces of darkness. However, we must also resist these onslaughts and instead take an optimistic view of our situation. Like war, optimism can be pervasive and helps to subdue any rising sense of fear. We need to be optimistic because I do think that we have a very bright future in front of us, and I think Trump and his team, I think they have a lot of stuff that they're holding on to right now. They're going to release it, closer towards the election, and I think it's really going to swing the election in Trump's favor. But we cannot become passive about it. I'm going to save this for my next video. I'm going to save this rant for my next video. So let me just continue with Michael Flynn here. We must, however, be deliberate about our optimism. Otherwise, we may get lost in discouragement and despair of any failings we encounter. We must be tenacious in the ultimate end we wish to gain. That end is to remain an unwavering constitutional republic based on a set of judeo-christian values and principles. We must not fear these and instead embrace them. So exactly, we cannot be guilted into giving away our traditions, into giving away our identity. No other nation, no other people in the world are demanded that they give up everything that is near and dear to them the way that we in America and we in the West in general are. Why us? It's because we stand for liberty and freedom, and that is the biggest opposition to the people that want to take that all away from us, that want to control us, that want to control the world. They want to rule the world. And the ideas and values of freedom that come from the Judeo-Christian ethic and the Judeo-Christian worldview are the biggest opposition to that. And we should not cede an inch of ground to the people that want us to lose that and to progress their goal against us. That's insanity and it's cowardice. America, we need to stop being so cowardly. Stand up, fight. Not physically and literally or with guns or anything like that, but fight the ideas. Fight in the realm of philosophy. Fight in the realm of values and traditions. Speak your mind. Speak your piece. If somebody doesn't like it, that's their problem. It's not on you. Our path requires course corrections. To move our experiment in democracy forward, we should fight and reject the tired and failed political paths and instead pursue a more correct path that shines a bright light on liberty, a path with greater and greater control of our livelihoods instead of being controlled by fewer and fewer of those too long in power politicians. They have discarded us like old trash. Yes, they have. And that's what I've been talking about the past couple of days, where I've been talking about we need to find a way to defend liberty, and we need to stop thinking that any defense of liberty is a violation of the tenets of liberty. It's not. You have to fight for what you believe in. Even if liberty is the cause, even if liberty says people should have the right to be able to do what they want, it shouldn't come at the cost of our very core being. And they have discarded us like trash. They've sold us out. They've sold us out to the Chinese communists. They've sold us out to the globalists. They've sold us out to the corporatists. We've all been sold out. The middle class has disappeared. Now you're either rich or you're poor. It's because they've sold us out. They've sold out all of our manufacturing. We're now dependent on the rest of the world. The same dependency that brought down all kinds of cultures, namely the African American black culture from the Great Society, made them dependent on the government. We're now dependent on communist countries. If being dependent on our own government tears apart communities, what do you think our country being dependent on a communist community is going to do? It's going to tear us apart. It's going to ruin us. It's going to be our downfall. We're going to end up being controlled by communists. We already are to a degree. LeBron James, I'm talking to you, you fucking bitch. Our will, our individual liberties and freedoms, remain powerful forces and must be understood and applied smartly. We must not be overly stubborn. Follow the Constitution as our guide and adapting to change as we have throughout history. We learn more about what freedoms humans desire. At times, however, we have to fall back on what got us here. What got us here was fighting for what we believe in. That's what got us here. And that's what he's saying right there, I'm pretty sure. We cannot afford to lose our God-given human rights and the strong inner desire for freedom to choose and to breathe the fresh air of liberty. We must stand up and speak out to challenge our so-called leaders of government. We put them in charge, we can remove them all as well. Damn right we can. It is through our rights and privileges as American citizens that we challenge the political class and leverage our election process so that we, the people, can decide who will govern. We must not allow a small percentage of the powerful to overtake our position on America's battlefield. We, as free-thinking and acting individuals, must control how we live and not allow a few passionate others to change our way of life. To the silent and currently indifferent majority, wake up. America is at risk of being lost in the dustbin of history to socialism. The very heart and soul of America is at stake. In war, as in life, most failure comes from inaction. We face a pivotal moment that can change the course of history of our nation. We, the people, must challenge every politician at every level. We also must stand up and support our law enforcement and professionals. They are the pointy end of the spear defending us against anarchy. Now is the time to act. Well said, Michael Flynn. Just a very, very great article. Really breaks down the heart and soul of the battle that we're fighting right now. We are in a war. And you can either choose to be somebody that sits back and says whatever happens, happens, and I'll go with the flow, or you can sack up and become the soldier, even if it's just what I'm doing, being a digital soldier, being somebody who speaks their mind and is not willing to back down, not willing to cede an inch, knowing and understanding the enemy. That is the problem. So many people do not understand the enemy. They do not understand the Marxist push that is happening, how we have been infiltrated for decades by these people, how this plan has been in place since the 60s. So I'm going to talk about it a lot more in depth in my next revved up video. I know it's I keep saying it's coming. Honestly, I'm working so much on these videos and my full-time job, and it's a lot. So I'm hoping to film the next Revved Up, where I go in deep detail about cultural Marxism, its history, what it means. I'm gonna try my best to get that written so I can shoot it on Friday. It's tough though. I mean, I'm working 12 to 14 hours a day right now between my job and getting these videos out for you guys. But it's worth it. It's worth it. I would much rather work this much and sleep this little and get this message out here, give you guys the tools you need to fight, try to inspire you to stand up to people that maybe intimidated you before. They win through your intimidation. Don't be intimidated. Stand up. Stand up. Because we're all in this together, and I just hope we all get to celebrate together on November 4th, or I guess however late November 3rd, or the morning of the 4th, or whatever. You guys get what I'm saying. Maybe we need to do a live stream, everybody get together and party when we win. We are going to win, but we also cannot, we must remain vigilant. We can't get overly cocky. Because if we start saying, oh, we're going to win to the point where we feel like we don't need to vote, that's going to be our downfall. Because, well, I'm going to save this again for my next, I got some overlapping ideas between this and my next video. Actually, I might be saying my next video, and maybe I put that video out first, so I don't know. Maybe it's the video you guys already saw. So I haven't figured out which order I'm going to release these two videos in yet. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you'd like to donate, help me keep fighting for you guys. Talk to me. Send me messages. Let's start a conversation. Maybe somehow you can get involved. Like I said, we're all in this together, and let's do it. All right, guys. Thorburn out. Hope you guys have a good day.